July 17, 2014, Russia's aggression against Ukraine went beyond the two states. That day, a Malaysian Airlines passenger plane disappeared from radar screens in the skies above the territory of the Russian-controlled Donetsk Oblast. The Boeing 777 was downed by the Russian Buk missile system. All 298 passengers died. 196 of them were citizens of the Netherlands. The wreckage of the aircraft and the remains of passengers fell from a 10-kilometer altitude, while Russian media praised another victory of Russian-backed militants. The militants reported that they downed another transport plane of the Ukrainian Air Force. It happened over the city of Torres, of the so-called self-proclaimed Donetsk People's Republic. But propaganda messages instantly began to disappear from the media space as soon as it became clear that the airplane was civilian. The tragic events of 5 years ago have been recently raised again. Ukrainian border guards arrested a 40-year-old man who voluntarily joined the Vostok illegally armed group in 2014. Its members played the master around the site of the plane crash. It was easy to find evidence because the detainee decided to preserve the memory for the sake of posterity. His photo archives supplement the evidence of Russian crimes. This video shows him guarding the Boeing's fragments. We were tasked to guard the block post. I understood that we were going to the place where the plane was shot down. I understood that it was a civilian plane, not a military one. The militant told other details. When OSCE observers and other vehicles arrived, we prohibited them to shoot. Local residents of the villages Rossipne and Petropavlovsk said that Boeing was targeted by a missile fired from the village of Hrabove. At that time, the village of Hrabove in the Donetsk Oblast was occupied by Russian-backed mercenaries. Then a woman told us that her son filmed how the military plane was falling to the ground. She added that they understood it was not a military plane. Russian-backed militants shot down a civilian plane. Toys, napkins, personal belongings, and corpses were found in the yards. In autumn of the same year, a Vostok militant fled. He planned to settle in the Ukrainian-controlled part of the Donetsk Oblast. Despite that, he must be punished for his past crimes. European investigators also plan to interrogate the detainee. His testimony can be extremely valuable for international courts. Ancient Greeks called it the Meotian Lake, while Romans called it the Meotian Swamp. These ancient names of the Sea of Azov are not disrespect, but characteristic, as it is the shallowest body of water in the world. However, its depth does not have an impact on the diversity of its fauna. Rather the opposite. Warm, shallow water is a real paradise for fish and shellfish. That's why the Sea of Azov is considered the richest reservoir among oceans. At least it was earlier. Once there were beluga, sturgeon, starred sturgeon, turbot, and Black Sea herring. Now they're mainly mullet, anchovy, and bull calf. Every year their number is in decline, not only due to impoverished resources. For several years now, the Sea of Azov, common to Ukraine and Russia, is the focus of tension. Military actions, constant provocations, and attempts of Russia to fully control the water area do not add bonuses to the resort and the industrial region. As a result, these waters are not the best fishing area. It seems that it's impossible to stop poachers, because fish bring in huge profits and it doesn't matter where and how they were caught. Green berets constantly patrol the Berdyansk Gulf. They keep order, catch violators, and from time to time pull out prohibited fishing gear from the waters. This time, border guards, together with fishermen, dragged out 33 grids with a length of more than 1.5 kilometers. The grid contained an ice catch, flounder, ball calf, and 4 sturgeons. These little specimens were destined to be on the table of some restaurant, but they were given a chance to give offspring. Who knows what will be if they are caught again? Watch next, contraband spawning in the Kharkiv Oblast. Why caviar is becoming popular on the border with Russia. In the underground and without taxes, a warehouse with home appliances was found in Mykolaiv. Recently, smugglers have another trend, caviar. This product is tasty and expensive because it's not easy to get it. For example, red caviar is the future salmon fish that spawns only in several regions of the globe. Black caviar is from a rare sturgeon. There are few species left. And what is strange, the number of fish is in decline, but not on the border with Russia. We've already focused on a half-centener of this delicacy seized by Sumy border guards. That was just the beginning. Recently, angry but unconquered smugglers have rerouted another batch through the Kharkiv Oblast. And again failure. When Green Berets of the Topolia department opened the doors of this vehicle, they did not believe their eyes. There were 250 kilos of red caviar. But that's not all. 300 cans of pie caviar were hidden for special connoisseurs. By the way, it cost not less than a salmon. In any case, the delicacy was confiscated. We suspect that offenders won't stop there. Last year, a record number of caviar was produced in Russia, but due to the sanctions, not everyone buys it. Microwave ovens, coffee makers, vacuum cleaners, kitchen utensils, and other important home appliances. 6,000 names worth more than 20 million hryvnias and 1 million in cash were seized during searches in a Mykolaiv warehouse. Also, real evidence was found: a secret ledger and fake seals. This underground enterprise was closed by border operatives jointly with tax officials and prosecutors. However, it looks like a supermarket. Shady businessmen took a fundamental approach. Huge batches of home appliances and building materials were quietly distributed to retail outlets and online stores. And no taxes. According to preliminary data, the goods were smuggled into Ukraine. The investigation will determine the amount of losses to the state caused by the organizers. Be sure that the sums will be 6 digits. The advent of springtime was a holiday of new life, warmth and sunshine for Ukrainians. Under the warm sunlight, farmers blessed the furrow, and gardeners waved a magic wand over the fruit trees to get a plentiful harvest. But the border zone has its own traditions. Apparently, this truck owner requested the Slavic god of the spring sun, Yarilo, to not meet anyone on the road. He had good reason, as he was smuggling seasonal goods to Russia. These unpretentious bags contained expensive goods, fruit tree saplings. There were over 28,000 of them valued at 5 million hryvnias. Obviously, the higher authorities didn't hear the smuggler's request. Luhansk border guards, jointly with customs officers, detained both him and the future garden. Therefore, it won't blossom in Russia. People there will never see it. Watching the next program, one cannot do without a shovel. What was hidden in freight cars transporting iron ore? A green beret as a gift. How school children visited the border guards.